Hey, Poke.
Hi.
We're doing that thing we do again.
That podcasty thing that we like to do.
That podcasty thing, but this week it's heavy. It's heavy.
I want to talk about.
You have to talk about it.
Okay.
We don't actually have a choice. We've sat, right? No word of a lie, listeners. We have sat for the last 5 minutes going, are we sure we need to do this? And we need to do this. We need to talk about the mixer changes. We've decided that the best possible way to handle it is to go down the blog posts, which will be linked in the descriptions of the podcast. I'm sure Mr. Poke can handle that.
I will link the blog post in the description.
There you go. So we're just going to kind of start at number 1, work our way down, and this is our thoughts as full-time content creators. That's really that's where we're approaching this from. There's been an incredible amount of positivity, let's say, around these changes, and an incredible amount of negativity, and there has been everything in the middle, in between.
It's really split. The community is really divided on absolute outrage and the equal level of ire against the people who have absolute outrage in a very strange situation.
There is also a considerable amount of misunderstanding.
I think that's what it comes down to. I think that's the key for all sides. I've got a small amount of misunderstanding.
Yeah, I think there's more information that could be shared. Obviously, we have a case in point here when Twitch launched its affiliate system.
Which had a similar amount of polarization.
Which had a similar amount of kick out, yeah. So we have some sort of case study to run on this, but we'll go through the blog post because there are some positives that are coming here. And then I would personally like to offer my opinion about where mixers seem to be taking it, where the direction seems to be going. But we are going to preface this hands down, and I'm sure we both agree wholly on this. We are not in this to burn bridges. This is not a hit piece.
No, absolutely not.
This is not intended to be a burn piece. This is just two guys that are trying to make a living doing this, that are ever so slightly concerned, I would say, about the direction that we think things are going based on the information that we have currently. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that this podcast has always been about our opinions. It's always been not unfiltered. Certainly, it's been about how you feel about it. Though it's not necessarily a factual situation. We don't always know all the things, but we've always been honest, and I think it's important that we continue to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's exactly what this is. We need to we like to voice our opinions, so here we go. So I'm going to start.
You're going to start. Let's do it.
Mixer published a blog post on July 23rd at 10 a.m. PST. Basically, it was billed as a recommitment to community and digital safety on Mixer. It wasn't exactly that, but that's what they chose to go with.
That was the big announcement, was
the big push, which was obviously a follow-on to Microsoft and Mixer's previous campaign to stop cyberbullying,
which is, no one's going to argue is not. That's something they should be doing.
A worthy cause.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge problem, and it's a huge problem within streaming on all levels of streaming.
Very much so. So they want to reduce harmful content and toxic behavior, so that Mixer continues to be a fun, positive, and welcoming community. That's what they pushed on. That's what they prefaced it with. So some things they've done for the initial to try and help this. They have added a report button straight to the player window so that you can report violent or extremist content or violations of terms of conduct. And they updated their rules of conduct to expressly prohibit terrorist and violent extremist content.
Again, very positive, very good.
Yeah, seems fairly universal.
No, we're very against terrorism and violent extremism.
I'm not a fan. Not at all. No, I wouldn't consider it.
It's not a hobby.
Anything I would like to do or have around me. An interesting change, they're implementing a streamer review system to improve validation. So basically, you have to be screened for 24 hours on a new streaming account before you can start a camera-capable stream.
I'm curious as how that's going to work. How that they would recognize a face in a human face, the way that it would be digitally scanned, and a video game of very good quality. They're getting close to a human eye might be able to tell the difference, but would an algorithmic eye be able to tell the difference on that? That's going to be tricky
Is
one.
that what they're using, I wonder?
I don't imagine they've got a staff member watching every single new stream for the first 24 hours.
They can't have, can they?
It's got to be automated.
I'm looking at this. So what happens is you do a stream, you post a stream, and for 24 hours it doesn't go live.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I think what it said, from what I understand there, is that you can stream the first day, but you can't have a camera capable stream. So does that mean you can do a audio only stream?
Well, that's the bit I don't understand. I mean, do you do a stream and it goes into review? Like you have to do a stream and then it goes in review. So you stream to nobody, or I don't understand quite what that is.
I don't see the benefit of that or the what that's saving.
I guess that's to stop pornography.
Well, yes, yeah.
Considering this is right under their terrorism and violent extremist content, I suppose what they're trying to do is stop,
Terrorism.
Mr. Terrorist firing up a stream and it being it's not a nice thing to say, but
bad. Yeah. One of the bad.
Yeah, something along those lines. So I guess that's what that's supposed to combat. How they're going to implement it, it's the same as just about everything else we're hearing recently. We've got plenty of ideas, but no clue as to implementation.
Yeah, I don't understand camera capable stream as a term either. I'm sure there'll be clarification on that as time goes on.
I hope so, because currently I don't know what that means. Launch is August 29th, so the end of August for
That's
that.
not long.
Which is not long, no, about a month. Okay, we're creating a new toxicity screen system that's going to give streamers control over interactions in their channel. Basically, filtering options that give you control over chat participation, including automated moderation tools and restricted chat modes. So, follower-only mode, sub-only mode.
I was going to say that's what restricted chat is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only people that are logged in opposed to verified emails, those sort of things. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's a great thing. I like that. Happy with that.
I can see growing from the start. That'll be a benefit because you want to screen apps and people were. It'll stop I banned you. You created a new account, and
come back. Yeah.
It'll stop all of that, which is pretty bad.
It'll also stop the incognito accounts and that. Yeah, that makes sense because that is an ongoing problem with streaming. Is you ban someone because they can still currently see your stream, they just keep making accounts and coming back, or incognito tabs. Just keep coming back with randomly generated
After
usernames.
About 7 times, it's difficult to pull the funny out of that situation. The first time you can make them a little bit of fun, but after 7 or 8, just tedium.
So positive. That's a positive.
Absolutely.
That's a good positive change. They're changing mod tools, right? They're adding new mod tools.
If anything to help the mods is definitely good, and anything if you can automate some of the moderation. And that's good as well.
Absolutely. They also say here that they're also publicly recognizing and rewarding their invaluable contributions to the community. I don't know what that means.
Nah, I don't know what that means.
Employee of the month system.
Mod of the month?
Let's go with something like that. Yeah, mod of the month. I don't know. Let's find out.
Recognition's always good.
I'm absolutely delighted with that because moderators do deserve more recognition than they get because these guys...
They are unsung heroes.
Believe me, they stop you seeing some horrible things.
Just this disgusting stuff, the spoilers. They will... I've had mods take hits on having major movies and major TV events spoiled.
Yeah.
And say, look, we'll take it on the chin because we want other people not to have it. And it's not their job. They're not the streamer. They haven't signed up for this. They still take it. So they really do a great job.
So yeah, that I can't praise that enough. I think it's great that they start looking after mods. However they decide to do that, I think that's great. It'd be nice to see where that goes. Improved tools is always good anyway. Yeah. So big fan of that. The next one is we are also investing in new software capabilities and our professional mod team to actively review broadcasts, chat, and activity on the service. Global mods?
They were already global mods. From what I'm reading of that is that they'll be able to access your VODs, presumably, even if you don't save VODs, to review and say, no, you did bad, and retrospectively take action if they need to. Yeah. And that's remove harmful content as well.
I'm okay with that. An Overwatch system is fine.
Absolutely. I don't make harmful content, so
neither do I.
I don't feel like I need to worry about that, but I know that it takes away some of the people that we've all seen stuff that we think, yeah, that shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, so positive, good positive changes in this section particularly. The next one is just they're committed to sharing and learning alongside other platforms to help increase safety and confidence for all live streamers and viewers. That's nothing to do with us.
No.
If you know what I mean. I don't mean that negatively, but that's nothing to do with us.
But it's good that they are willing to listen,
to share algorithms and stuff.
Share their if they know something's bad, they're sharing it. If someone else knows they're bad, then they're willing to listen to it. So again,
yeah, I'm all for intelligence sharing in that regard. I really am. It gets a bit mucky from here.
It gets a little grey.
Gets a little sticky. So
this is a very serious podcast.
Yeah, it is for once.
I haven't made a single inappropriate joke.
Not yet, but hold it. There's time. There's always time.
I'll slip one in.
Yeah, just find a way. I mean, you've just slipped one in there. Hoorah.
I did that one on purpose.
So what have we got? Commitment to our streamers and their success. I feel, I'm going to say my opinion and Poke can say his so that we don't bleed into each other's opinions about this and we can word it how we want to word it. I think that's the best thing. It's only a short section, but it is the most incendiary in the blog. They say commitment to streamers and their success. So they're doubling down on our commitment to Mixer streamers and to helping you achieve success on the platform. We want to create a path for all streamers to monetize their great content on Mixer and ensure the steps to progress and earn increased support are transparent. For Mixer partners and streamers, we're also excited about continuing to add new innovative ways for you to monetize your channel and grow your audience. Okay, that sounds lovely. Sounds like all the things I might like.
Sounds very enticing, especially if I was new or growing.
Especially if I was new. Here we go then. Okay, let's go.
Here we go. Put your arms in the air. It's more fun if you put your arms in the air.
I've literally got my arms crossed right now. Big sulky face.
My arms are up. I'm ready for the drop.
Yeah. We are adding the ability for all streamers to participate in monetization on Mixer. Starting first with Mixer Embers and then following with channel subscriptions and additional monetization features over time. This is something we've been testing over the past several months, and we're excited to announce that a full rollout of the program will be coming later this year. As we work to build the full program, we will be experimenting with both Embers and Sparks patronage, so expect to see some changes and new experiences in the coming week as we learn and scale. Okay, so what we know from the lift of the NDA. The Sparks patronage program is disappearing. It will no longer offer monetization.
Well, it's officially not ending. It's pivoting and adapting and changing. It's not the program that it was.
As we know it, it fades away. We're allowed to say this now. NDA has been lifted. Basically, your Sparks as viewers will now go towards increasing the cut of Embers that the streamer receives. So instead of Mixer getting whatever cut percentage they get, we will get a buff to it and we will get a bit more. So they buff Embers. There have been all the fun on Twitter of people saying that that's great and it was free money and we should never have it and we should all stop whining. And they're right.
To a degree.
It was, free money, except that it cost me my time and effort and the last year of building my channel to a position where they were worthwhile. I haven't seen a very positive kick from Embers, so I'm skeptical of the change doing any good. Mostly because I feel that I would have to ask my community for their time in order to farm the Sparks and their money in order to pay the Embers which the Sparks buff. And that's too much. That's too much. I offer great content, but time and money, those two things are usually fairly mutually exclusive within watching entertainment. You're either at work earning the money or something else. So I personally think that isn't the way I would have liked it to go. Embers globally is great. I think that all streamers, after a set amount of time, should be given Embers. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be. That would help fund the Embers program across the entire board. There's no negativity in that at all. I think giving them a sub button instantly devalues the partner program, which I worked hard to get into that program. I'm proud. I'm still proud to be a Mixer partner. I still am. That hasn't changed. I do feel that it's been devalued by a global sub button. It's basically an affiliate program, right? Like we were alluding to at the start. Twitch had this same kickback when they had their affiliate program. But I personally think that Embers is fine. I don't believe that sub buttons should be global. That's my take on this. That's where I see it. Poke may have a different opinion. I'm going to let him air it. And I'm just going to sit quietly for a second while he does that.
I was sitting very quietly. I did good. I very similar. I feel the same way. There's no reason why Embers shouldn't be for everyone, because as much as you don't get the full amount, and percentages and cuts, I don't know if it's been discussed. So obviously I don't think it's right for me to discuss it or us to discuss it. But I think that there's some inherent issues with direct tipping, with things like chargebacks and stuff. So I do think it does a good job for streamers in a protection point of view. You're not so susceptible to that. And I also think that it turns it into more of an event with the stickers, with the different things that pop up in the chat. So I think Embers could be good, and I don't think there's any real reason that you can justify why that should be a partner only experience. When it comes to subscribe buttons, sub buttons, I agree with you. I think that's I've been doing this for a long while now, for about 4 or 5 years, and it was always something that I wanted to work towards. It was the reward for attaining the level that you needed to be. And more than that is that a sub button is useless without a community anyway. So if you've got, with respect, 1 or 2 or 3 people in your channel, then the sub button doesn't really benefit you until you've got lots of people coming through and a larger community. Whereas the Ember system, 1 or 2 or 3 people will be able to continuously, if they want to help you out and kick into the channel, and it'll help you buy games, and it'll help you pay for your internet or whatever it does. I don't love the idea of everyone getting a sub button. There's been other websites in the past that were on a relatively good trajectory on streaming that then did it and then they disappeared very quickly. That's not a good thing to have in the back of my mind. I think if you give something to everyone, then it's not special anymore. So why push to be a partner if you're getting all the non-partner stuff, or all the partner stuff, sorry, without being a partner? And there are other benefits. We have support and we have a connection into Mixer that a non-partner doesn't have. But my concern is it devalues it. It really does for me.
Yeah, I think that about covers it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've said pretty much all I think. There's no anything to say beyond that.
No, I think that covers the sticky bits.
Yeah, the downside of the negatives that was always going to be talked about.
I'm always concerned when a lot of features change for mass monetization on anything, in anything. You know, I've worked nightclubs for the better part of 12 years now as security. And in my experience, when the drink prices come down and the door prices change and suddenly it's an all access thing,
the quality overall tends to drop.
That it doesn't usually bode well. Yeah, it doesn't usually bode well. But I don't know what's behind the curtain, and neither do you. We don't know what's hidden, you know. So let's see what happens. No,
I agree. That's a good analogy. That's a good analogy, though, that if you make your drinks cheap, if you make your door free to get into your bar, then you're going to get way more people in. But that quality of people is not necessarily going to be
go down,
the same level. And if you're not driving to be better, then why would you be better?
Yeah. This particular system will, in my opinion, draw streamers. It will draw fresh streamers.
Exactly the same. Do you remember when the affiliate program came out, and then there was almost like an exodus on Twitch? Sorry, yeah. There was like an exodus of tons and tons of streamers from Mixer just left. I'm like, we're going to go and get affiliate. And then fairly quickly, they started to trickle back in because it's not necessarily the golden ticket that it looks like.
Of course it's not. There are only so many viewers to go around more often than not. And that would be one of my worries with this particular system is that currently we don't have any good methods of pulling people to the platform. We're trying, and it is growing slowly. But this strikes me as a plan that will bring considerable amounts of small streamers. I don't mean that offensively, but that's what it'll bring.
If everyone's grinding to grow, then no one's watching because everyone's grinding.
Because everyone's trying to work, yeah. And that's how I really see this going. I think it will help fresh streamers coming in. I think they'll feel motivated and boosted by this. I think it will help the streamers at the top of the food chains, your big BR streamers that are on the platform. I'm not so sure there's much effect in the middle where we would probably gain more growth across a wider line.
The brackets will change to that.
I believe so. I believe so. We'll have to see if another card is played.
Yeah, I would hope that there's something. There's an ace in a hole that just hasn't been announced, and we don't know anything about it. We've not been told anything that we're not allowed to talk about. We just everything's speculation.
Yeah, it is. Most of this is speculation and some level of understanding. Now, I assume that the business analysts at Microsoft and Mixer know more than I do. I still have faith in Mixer with it. Just personally, this isn't the move.
There's been things that Mixer have done over the years that I've been with them that I have completely balked against and argued, and then 20 minutes in said, oh, okay, I was wrong. I'm good enough and big enough to say that I was wrong, and that I took one view and didn't see the bigger picture. So this may be one of those situations that I don't look at this change in we want to call it an affiliate program, but it's not an affiliate program. This change towards affiliate style, I don't see as positive. But maybe there's a bigger picture I don't see that is there.
That's the hope, right? The hope is that they're going to play an ace card that's going to blow everything back up.
Absolutely.
I personally want to see more growth stuff.
I want to see them bring more people into the platform that are viewers there to view, not to grind.
That's exactly it. So whilst we're in fantasy land, I would like things like, I really need the mobile app fixed.
The mobile app would help.
80% of the viewership on Twitch is mobile application, be that tablets or mobile phones directly.
Is that true?
That's true. Didn't know. Well, that's based on Professor Broman's stream itself, right? So his podcast, he mentions that kind of stat, and the people he's spoken to over time tend to agree that it's somewhere in that region. But either way, anything over 50% is something that needs focus, right?
From my knowledge, that's nowhere near that on Mixer. It's mostly seems desktop or Xbox based.
Exactly. But the Mixer phone app is not where I would like it to be.
This is as good as it's ever been. But it's not where it should be. But no, it's stepping in the right direction, but it can see where it should be, and opposed to it is where it should be.
Well, that statement there actually kind of quantifies how I feel about most of this particular section. This is Embers worldwide, Embers globally it should have been rolled out when Embers were rolled out. I don't see any reason why that shouldn't have happened. The only problem, of course, is the admin of paying people, which is not our business, but I understand that that's complex.
Is there tax issues? Is there contract issues? Those sort of things were the ones that I assumed. And I don't even know if there would have been not a better workaround, that's not the right word, but if there would have been a workaround with the Embers don't pay out as cash, they pay out as Microsoft dollars or whatever, which you can then use to pay for games.
Or Xbox. Yeah. Could there be Xbox gift cards or something?
They're just sort of feeding back into games, which isn't giving you the money. But I mean, we're all gamers, and if you're a streamer, you're definitely buying games. So having that kick into that, even though it's not cash into your bank, would then definitely have stopped the cash going out of your bank.
Helped, yeah. Maybe that is the way it should have happened. You should have got codes and stuff. I don't know.
Having said that, my landlord likes that I get paid in cash. So, yeah.
You've earned your partnership over the time. You've done what you were asked to do, and you've earned it. So monetization for a partner side is a very different thing, I just feel that we don't currently have the viewer base to support a global sub button. I don't think we have.
And I don't think this is the draw to bring the people as well. This isn't going to be the carrot that draws the new people in to make it sustainable and make it work.
No.
This is just going to bring people who are
interested in making money.
It's a balance. And you're putting all of your weight onto one side, and that's not necessarily how it works.
No. I'd agree with that. And with Microsoft being behind Mixer, it would be kind of nice maybe to get a Square on the PC, on the desktop app that's built in, maybe. Something along those lines, So that's more where I was hoping that they would take the direction. So that, because it's native to the Xbox, right? I mean, it's tab 2, on the Xbox. It's right there.
Purely, if you think about it take yourself out and sort of look at the 4 big platforms. So you got Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, and then Facebook Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the 4 of those, Twitch is unto itself because it started it all. They're bringing people in. They're running on inertia. Twitch is a thing, so you go to Twitch. They don't have to draw new people. They've got all the new people.
Yeah.
So then you look at the other 3. So you got YouTube, Mixer, and Facebook Gaming.
Facebook.
So
Yeah.
YouTube is trying and succeeding converting its pre-existing we watch non-live videos into watch, and that's why they're doing well, is because they're just converting the people that already are. There isn't anyone who doesn't look at YouTube. Everyone with a phone looks on YouTube.
YouTube's global as hell, yeah.
My mum watches unboxing videos on YouTube.
My mum's made videos on YouTube. I'm not telling you anything more about it.
I want to know more.
Absolutely not happening.
Wait, no, this guys, I'm sorry, we're ending the blog. This is all about Mrs. Fen. At least give me what kind of things that she makes.
No, because they're terrifying.
Please tell me the genre of video at least.
I suppose it's a vlog.
She does a vlog. Oh, that's so impressive.
I suppose it was. No, she did a vlog. She doesn't do it anymore because she couldn't be bothered. But she did a vlog.
She lost motivation. You saw you doing it. It was like, nah.
It was before I did it, man. I didn't know she did it until she started sending me links. I was like, what is this? What is this?
So you were inspired by your mum. It's nice. It's sweet. It's sweet to be inspired by your mum. My mum's been a great influence for me, so I'm glad that my mum has influenced you zero amount.
Well, my creative stuff comes from my mother and my grandmother.
So she makes
that's
vlogs.
Definitely for sure. She made vlogs.
Is she called Mrs. Fenristix? If I search for Mrs. Fenristix.
That's my wife.
Oh, how about Mama Fenristix?
Mama Fen?
Mama Fen.
No.
Mama. I would definitely watch videos of Mama Fen in a rocking chair on a porch. Just talking.
God, no! I'll maybe send them to you at some point just for the giggles.
I definitely will share those with everyone.
Let's get back on track before I stab you in the head. This is terrible. Right. I wish I hadn't said anything.
So Mixer. So what was that? So where are drawing the people from? I derailed my own conversation. So
how are they going to get these viewers onto the platform? But
that's the thing, is that YouTube are using what they have, which is their viewership. Facebook are using
Facebook's doing
exactly the same. So Microsoft needs to leverage what they've already got, and all they've got is Xbox app. They need to do more to draw people over. So there are ways that they could, in theory, do it, in my opinion. So if they and you're talking about dream world plans.
That's where we are. We're living in Fantasyland, right? Let's go.
So if you gave, for example, everyone who had Game Pass a free sub to a Mixer streamer, 50% of them, out of curiosity, might have a look at Mixer and think, oh, I'll sub to one. And they'll probably sub to one and never come back. But of that 50%, which is millions of people,
that's a lot of Game Pass.
10% of people coming back is still millions.
You could what if you even leveraged in an Xbox achievement?
Man, I've been getting back into achievements recently. That's such a clever idea. If you gamify stuff, people will compete to do it. So you're absolutely right. So watch a streamer for half an hour. Follow a streamer, follow 5 streamers, sub to a streamer, sub to 10 streamers, and have those. You might be a genius, my friend.
Make them there.
I'm going to tell everyone this was my idea. We're editing that bit where you said it out.
That's fine. Tell them, take it. If it makes it get implemented, take it. But funnily enough, gamers like to gamify things.
Shocker,
leverage that.
Shocker.
Yeah, absolute shocker. So, I believe that could be a wise choice. I think that's a good way to go with it. Just gamify it.
And then you're not even giving away anything. You're not giving away free stuff. You're
giving away nothing free. You just got to code a little achievement. But if you then coupled that with the free sub in Game Pass, you could gamify the achievements and then go use your Game Pass sub on a streamer. And
there's so much that Mixer are doing well with this Mixer loot stuff that they've got.
Yeah, so the architecture's there, right?
We're playing at Sea of Thieves and people were watching purely just to get a figurehead to go on the front of their ship.
Just to get loot, yeah.
And Sea of Thieves isn't the biggest IP around. So but
it did well.
If they could tie that in with bigger games and more diverse sort of games, they're definitely going to draw people in. And there are people that I know that only came for that event, that watched me for 3 or 4 days, getting their numbers up, and stayed.
Yeah, they were like, you know what? This is fun. Now, if they'd have launched this kind of stuff alongside this mass monetization, I would have probably had a better feeling about it all.
It's so easy to get sucked into being excited about those things.
Of course it is, because that's, give me the poop sandwich. You know what I mean? Deliver it that way.
Mixer doesn't need more streamers. It needs more community.
It needs more viewers. Yeah, it needs more viewers to make so that we can make them. You give me people, I will make them a community. I've done it. I've shown you I can do it.
That's your job. That's our job, is to bring people who don't know each other and make them into friends with each other. And that's what we do.
Let's go.
And it's worked so well. And that's why my community loves me and loves each other. And it's why yours loves you.
Exactly. It's why one of my guys posted the other day, puts his game. This is slightly, off topic, but he puts his gamer tag in gaming before he knows it. He's playing with full squads on Apex. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's right there. We've done it. I need that to happen. I need the people, and I can only get so many. I don't have the scope of Microsoft. I don't have the scope of Mixer.
Just give me the opportunity.
Just give me the damn shot and I'll do it. That's all I'm asking you for. I'm not asking you for features. I don't need them. I don't need you to spoon feed the people directly to me. Just get them on the platform. I'll do the rest. That's how I see it. That's how I see my content creation. That's what I'm trying to do. I need the audience. We all need the audience.
Looking at the next point that's on the blog, I think part of what we were just talking about, gamifying stuff, may be something that looks like it could be hinted at with the addition of streamer progression dashboard.
Yeah, stuff like that I think is a win, right? So they're giving us better analytics and a streamer progression dashboard. Twitch already does that.
Yeah.
Twitch's affiliate program, you follow the steps.
They have their sort of internal, and I like the idea of a Mixer learning from peers that they're not doing it because someone else does it. They're doing a version of it.
They're not blindly copying. They're looking, and I'm good for that. And again, gamifying is always good.
Yeah, it's just that if you then, not to pull a negative view on it, but if it's, for example, you get a sub button if you stream for 100 hours this month, then you're not really got a big quality. You've got a big quantity, and I'd like to see some sort of qualitative. That's the word, right? Metric.
Let's go with it.
That's definitely a word. I'm very, very smart. So
okay. So what do you mean?
I would like them to see it based on quality. So if they are viewer retention, for example, and that's not I hit 100 viewers or I hit 10 viewers or whatever the number that you decide to chuck in as the number. It's you got 10, and somewhere in this analytical sphere, someone can say you had 10 people. Of those 10 people, 8 of them stayed for an hour, 1 of them stayed for 5 minutes, and the other one just left straight away. They can pull. So it's not just hours watched. So I could play, for argument's sake, Fortnite. It'll bump my numbers up, and I will continue to have good numbers throughout the whole thing. But that's because I've got such a rotating door policy of people coming in, following, saying hi, leaving immediately because they couldn't jump into my game. But that one person who left is immediately replaced by someone else. That there's a rotation to that means that my retention isn't good, but my numbers are always good. The number isn't important. The retention is important.
I agree. Retention is key.
So I'd like to see it sort of drilled down to an individual. You kept these people in opposed to I had this volume of people.
Well, hopefully things like streamer analytics helps there, right? Because you can see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I still think that would mean that even though it's a non-partnership thing, sub buttons are then earned outside of that.
But then exactly.
I think that if you're earning your sub button that way, give them partnership.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't want it to be a time served thing.
No.
That's one thing I do know. I don't want it to just be you've streamed for 8 hours, here's your sub button, because that screams cash grab. And I'm not... Again, let me preface. I believe that Mixer are doing this from a good place.
They want their site to succeed. They want us to succeed. They want us all to grow together.
Because that's how it works. That's how it works. If we're doing well and making money and holding viewers, they are doing well and making money and having viewers.
And we've been involved in conversations, long conversations with the founders of the site. They still are very involved and they still cared deeply, and that comes across. Their passion for the community is beyond reproach.
I still feel that. I do. I believe that they do have the best intentions with this program. I'm just skeptical because I didn't get enough of the information I needed at the time, and maybe they can't talk about it, but that was what I felt.
You can't see the bigger picture if they don't show you the bigger picture.
I can't see it. I can't see it yet. Like I said, again, it doesn't mean it's not there. Doesn't mean the ace in the hole is there. But it's making me bloody nervous.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping they're going to flash me an ace and I can carry on making content and, I'll make it anyway, but you know what I mean? Making it at this scale.
I think you'll agree with me when I say that my content isn't Mixer content. It isn't Twitch content. It isn't YouTube content. My content is my content, and I will put that content, and I will forever that I do this, drive that content into the place that is beneficial to my community. If it's better for me to go somewhere else, full time, part time, any of it, I have a responsibility to the community. Say, for example, we left Mixer and went to YouTube gaming full time, just up and left. It's that's not pumping the community to go somewhere else. That's providing a better place for the community. And
it's a better place for us all to keep going with what we're doing. One thing that every streamer in the world will agree on happily is that streaming requires time. If it requires nothing else at all, it requires a lot of time. And full-time content creators need to be rewarded. Now, I agree that the Sparks patronage program was not the way to do that.
No, it was very generous.
Going full-time based off a generous incentive was not a wise choice, in my opinion. I chose not to do it. I made other decisions and other fallbacks to try and make it work. It has provided incredible benefits for incredible people, life-changing in some regards. So we knew that was unsustainable. It doesn't take an intelligent man to work out that was non-sustainable, right?
It was never going to be forever.
Of course not. Absolutely, of course not.
It did allow a lot of people, myself included, to go full-time because it allowed me to bank the money that I needed to have. So if they pull it, if it disappears today, then I can still pay my rent for X amount. It allowed me to build that buffer that I needed to be able to still sustain my life, which then allows me to continue to stream, because if I don't sustain my life, then I can't do what I love. So it has allowed people, and it's allowed a lot of people to upgrade equipment and provide overall value on that side of it to their streams.
Yeah, which is a massive bonus, right? I mean, I myself, several upgrades across the stream. I know you have. I know most of Duck Games, my stream team, have. We're talking camera upgrades, light upgrades.
The majority of the partners that I know have done significant upgrades.
Yeah.
And expensive, significant upgrades on the whole from
very much so,
which would have been years away, potentially, for a lot of people.
I believe that a lot of the Twitter grief, when we were talking about misunderstanding, is that's what it is. It's non-partners specifically that I'm seeing, and some partners targeting people that are perhaps upset that the Sparks have gone, and saying we shouldn't have relied on them, they weren't temporary, and yeah, they're right.
There's a balance to they're right.
I believe that the undertone of that particular message is a you're not making it anymore kind of thing.
It smacks of jealousy, because I didn't get it. Now I'm happy that you didn't get it. It does feel that way, and it feels targeted.
That's the undertones I'm feeling. And one thing, it's obviously taboo to talk about money within streaming.
There is no money in streaming. We do this for love. Our rent is paid by Ferris.
But yeah, that seems to be the gist. But unfortunately, that isn't the case.
It's a business. If you want the quality to be top drawer, you want the time invested in it to be top drawer, then money.
The time being the main point. There isn't time to provide a top quality stream and work a set full-time job, and therefore the trade-off is you work the full-time job, but you want to be supported in it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. Artists have been doing it for years.
No idea how people do full-time I did it for a year, and it burned me out heavily, constantly having to take breaks because of it. I don't know how people do it, doing full-time job and then trying to do full-time streaming.
Yeah.
And I did it because I knew if I put the time in that I would be able to go full-time streaming and lose the full-time job. I don't know any person who works full-time and then does significant amount of hours that doesn't have the aspiration to get rid of it. So even if they are doing two, they always want to get rid of the work to do it, because this is our passion. This is what we love.
It is exactly that. This is the dream. This is literally the dream. You wake up in the morning, you're like, right, let's go. I've got a list of improvements. Let's get to work. And you fit it in amongst your life, along with the streaming side of it. 6 to 8 hours a day is normal.
It takes a lot of sacrifice. A lot of sacrifice.
It does. Even the 30,000 viewer Twitch streamers, they're still streaming 60, 70 hours a week.
And that's without any background stuff. That's without any back end in itself and networking, all of those sort of things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's without the extra stuff. That's actually time online, the bits that are necessary. And I believe that telling someone, you're not making it anymore, I don't think that's an intelligent...
Seems petty.
Yeah, it seems petty. That's what it seems.
There's been, unfortunately, a lot of that.
I wouldn't like to think that anybody around my personal circle was doing anything like that. It's not a way to be in this world, because that's the crab mentality, right? You put a bunch of crabs in a bucket. If one crab looks like he's going to climb out, all the other crabs pull him down. Right? That's the thing. That's nature. It's fun, but that's not how we win.
Never heard the crab.
You can Google it.
No,
if you want.
I'm sure you've put it all over the internet. But
I've definitely done a lot with that crab.
too much. That crab's seen some stuff.
But the point being, rising tide raises all shit.
I completely agree. Live together, die alone.
Yeah. If we're trying to push this streaming dream on people, we need a bank of high quality people that are showing people that we can aspire to be those. That is how the world has always worked. We've always looked up to, I'm going to say heroes, but it's not quite
role
what
models.
I mean. But, you know,
community leaders.
That's a much better word. Yeah, community leaders and role models. That's where we're looking. And anything that boosts that, I think, is a great idea. Starting streaming and getting trapped. Now, this was a downside to the Twitch affiliate program, in my mind, is that you maybe get a couple of your mates that sub, maybe one of your friends, maybe one of your parents with the Amazon Prime, you know, the family Amazon Prime, and you get stuck in the trap of 10 to 12 subs, and you feel like you're making money gaming, and you're actually not. You know, you're making a little bit, but you never really hit your Twitch threshold payout thing, you know, which is $100.
I know a lot of people that have said to me they've not had payout for a year.
But there you go.
But they can't leave the site because they've got this.
But they can't get off.
They've got this bank of $60 or whatever it is set there waiting to be bumped up. They can't leave because they've got it's golden handcuffs.
Because they want to make it the 100 to get the payout, you know. And I worry that happens because that drains the passion from you. And the passion is what drives this stuff. I do worry that a mass monetization plan will cause a similar effect on Mixer. A lot of stale streamers down the bottom end that don't really want to be doing it anymore, but they're almost forced into it because of these circumstances. I mean, we'll see. Like I said, we don't know, do we? The next one is later this year, we will be launching the Mixer Academy, a robust learning system to help you grow your skills in key areas such as audience engagement, branding, monetization, and networking. Mixer Academy will also include a learning path for moderators to hone their skills and learn best practices for maintaining their channel.
So how do you feel about this?
This is not useful to me.
This is not useful to you. This is the problem, is that it's then trying to get into the view of someone who isn't you, someone who does need this.
Right.
So if you're new, you've been doing it for a few months.
Yeah, or you're fresh in, you're thinking of starting. I don't really know what it's going to be, whether they want it to be a mentor system or whether they want it to be a set of video learning.
My instincts say it's going to be video based.
My instincts tell me this is going to be American partners recorded onto video, and we make a clone army of streamers. That's what my instincts tell me. I think it comes from a good place. I'm not entirely sure this won't completely rob you of your personality.
I don't know if anyone can teach me how to be a streamer. It's like, they can, and there's fundamentals that they can teach. It's like no one can teach you to be an artist, but they can teach you how to paint.
They can teach you best practice, right?
Yeah. So it's gonna. I hope it's gonna be that.
So if they stay in their lane, so to speak, and that's what they go for, and the delivery method is good, I think that's great. Like I would prefer it if people were taught not to fall into follow for follow schemes or pyramid stream teams.
Go in and advertise your channel in other people's channels, those sort of things. Where I do think this one could really help is the moderators, because there's a lot of moderation that like if you're a new mod and you've never done it before, there isn't a place to learn what commands do. A lot of brand new mods think, oh, okay, I'll be a mod. I'll just wield my ban hammer. The term ban hammer never gets really used in my channel ever, because if I just need someone to ban someone, I tell you, I'm damn good at it. I can ban someone before a mod season because I'm paying attention, because it's my job to pay attention. It doesn't take more than one click really to ban someone. But what I do need is someone to do the proper moderator's job of keeping chat positive, turning conversation when it's getting a little bit
twisting bad conversation,
getting a little bit political, so maybe steering it. And it's not saying, oi, don't talk about politics. That's just steering it in the right direction. And those sort of skills that are makes the moderation team so important to the stream, whereas everyone thinks it's a bad hammer.
I mean, I use a tiered moderation team, right? My guys are so. I have there's shout out to my mod stuff going on here, but I have Elisana who will keep a conversation perfect for me, right? She'll clean it up when it's getting filthy. She'll take the politics out of it. She has a very good skill, and she doesn't do it by swinging a hammer. She exactly as you said, she just gently puts it back where it's meant to be, right?
She gets it.
She understands. She's more of a community manager to me than a mod. She looks after that sort of stuff. And I think that's something you can't teach. You couldn't tell her how to do that. She just does it. And I've seen it and I see it live, and you're like, well, you could maybe piggyback and learn that way, and that might help.
But not everyone can do that. That's a specialized personality type.
That's not something you could teach someone. I don't think you could. Then I've got Octo, who is a complete black and white mod. He knows exactly when he's going to pull the trigger, and he doesn't really get involved in much else. And I'm fine with that. That's his job. That's what he does. Then I have Dub King, who is mod support. He does things like if you need a command or a rules command, or you need something looking after or anything like that. That's what he does. That's his goal. That's how he does it. And then I have Darth, who's my replay guy. That's his job. He keeps stuff entertaining. But that kind of layered system really, really works. But if you're teaching each individual mod, because we have many, to do the same thing, aren't you just going to end up with a bunch of mods stepping on each other's toes all the time?
It depends on your tone. Mine are much less formalized than yours. I don't have someone who specifically bans. I don't who specifically does any particular task. I know they can do.
It's not hard and fast rules. The lines blur, but that tends to be the order it's done.
It's almost like a subclass within the mods.
But it's down to personality.
You're all playing the same game, but some of you are elves and some of you are warriors. But that's essentially what you're saying, is you've got people, they all can do the same thing, but they all sort of lean towards their own little
They do it differently,
area.
yeah.
Yeah, mine are just I don't know what mine do. Just got a couple of new ones that are good, so I can phase out some of the old ones.
I see.
It's just a warning to the mod team. No, but I always try to focus on keeping the community good. So they do a similar thing when it comes to it's all that nudging into a positive way, and they're all at different times.
Yeah, yours are always very good at chatting. They're very good at keeping your chat flowing and keeping all of that running.
They're very good at making new people feel welcomed as if they're not new people, and I think that is invaluable as a mod team. Yours do that as well.
But you can't teach that. You can't teach that either. You could teach them a sterile version of it, but I don't really know how you could teach them.
That's where good mod choices come in. You don't mod someone you've only known for a week. You mod someone that you've seen these traits. You're like, okay, well, look, you do this anyway. Do you want to do it formally under, like, let everyone know that you're part of the stream now? And that's the conversation.
Do you want to watch my back?
Yeah.
It's a thing. I'm curious to see where they go with that. I believe teaching people about branding is phenomenal. I believe teaching people best practices for networking is great. I think that's great for new streamers.
There's some really fundamentals that they can. This can be really, really good, as long as it's not a style education.
As long as it's not a cookie cutter. Yeah. It can't be a cookie cutter. We can't be producing little Stormtrooper streamers.
No, that wouldn't be ideal.
That's not what I think the world wants. The learning path for moderators, I don't really know how that's going to go, because we've all had instances where we've disagreed with Mixer's global mods. You find me a streamer that hasn't.
I've fortunately not had too much involved with the global mods.
But I had a guy, I told you, my friend timed out by a global mod, and I still to this day don't know the reason it happened.
Yeah, that's an overstep. They shouldn't be timing anyone out or doing anything, in my opinion, unless it's a TOS violation. Because someone might drop an F-bomb at you and that'd be fine. But they might come into my channel and I don't know them, they drop an F-bomb at me and it's absolutely not fine. So, that's a different step. But you can't ban them from your channel because it's bad in my channel, or vice versa. So it needs to be TOS on nothing on that.
I believe that's where the area falls grey. If you've got global mods teaching mods how to handle things. But I mean, what's this thing going to be? Are they going to teach moderators just how to enforce TOS? Because we have different ways of running our channels. I have different ways of running my channels, whether it's 18 plus or teen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Different streams can be different, let alone different streamers.
Yeah. And we can all have personality issues, and there are those people in our channels we have to manage individually. The viewers, I mean, that you end up having to manage individually.
And what I will accept from you, my friend, is very different when I'm going to accept from Johnny, I've just been here 30 seconds. So there's a lot of judgment calls.
Is that a flaw in our personality?
Absolutely not.
Because we should really treat everybody the same. That's the question. Are we trying to put across the ultra professional? And is that what the Streaming Academy is going to teach people to do?
No one watches you because you're ultra professional.
No. Well, I don't believe that's the case.
But no, I like to think this moderation path is more teaching them about how. So even if you look at the 2 steps of moderator from a moderator to a channel editor, so I like to think it's more sort of technical rather than philosophical.
Okay.
That's what I hope it's going to be. And that's what I expect it to be. I expect it to be, look, if you want to ban someone, you can push /ban. But if you also want to click on the button, it'll bring up the pinwheel. Those sort of things. Yeah. So it's a how-to. That I hope it's technical.
Yeah.
And that's my expectation.
Yeah, I think that's a clever way of pushing it. What else have we got? Right, that pretty much brings that to an end. The rest of this is speculative.
Yeah, and it's in your opinions overall.
Mixer Creator's gone.
Mixer Creator's gone, but that's a good thing.
I agree. It never really worked.
If they feel that they're not developing it properly and they don't want to put the investment in time and money into it, then absolutely they should be partnering with people who are willing to.
And they are. They've declared here that they're going to be... their recommended Streamlabs app, which is a known IRL app. Most people tend to use it.
Yeah, it's a good app from what I understand.
It's robust and solid.
Hopefully Mixer endorsing it will strengthen it in itself, and then they will be able to use that as a platform to build it into something even stronger.
That would be great. So, and then they can focus entire development on the Mixer viewing app.
Yes, they need to improve the app.
And the last point they make here is building Mixer together. Basically, they're doing a kind of FAQ and a level up cast on Friday, July 26th, which is...
not to date the podcast, but it is tomorrow.
But it is tomorrow, yeah. And, they're hoping to... I believe all of this comes from a good place. I don't think they are trying to sabotage anyone. I don't think they want their platform to fail. Microsoft does not have a history of wanting things to fail. If they choose to invest somewhere...
they want it to work. They've gone in with good intentions.
I think they do. I think they want it to work. To summarize my thoughts on all of this, I don't think a global sub button is the way to go forward. I absolutely love the idea of global embers. I think that's great. I would like the embers share to change to make them a more enticing purchase for viewers, more in line with the split that we see on Twitch, because bits are used extensively on Twitch.
Yeah.
I would like to see that also happen on Mixer. I think the Sparks patronage program, as we know it currently with the monetization milestones, very much encouraged a non-spending culture on Mixer.
Oh, so are you thinking they're going to spend more on Sparks because they're more on Embers because the Sparks aren't there? Do you feel that's what they're going for?
Well, actually, I think the opposite. I think now that they're trying to go a full 180 and make people spend on Embers, I'm not sure the general viewership is comfortable with spending real money because they haven't had to up to this point, and they can still support their streamers. I don't know how that's going to affect things. Embers were well received by the majority.
I don't remember any major negatives.
There was no major kickback, but there was no hype either.
It was just a very we've got Sparks, and also if you run out of Sparks you can tap into this.
You can use these, yeah. And it that went a bit odd, and then we had the Embers for All, and they tried to hype it. The streamers that were involved in the program tried to hype it, and I didn't watch a lot of how that went on.
I assume it was successful because that's got to have been the forerunner to this, yeah.
But I worry that the current culture on Mixer is not Embers focused, and because of that, we're not going to quite see the kickback we would like from Embers, which makes the platform less profitable for
by kickback,
Microsoft.
You mean that for Microsoft, but you also, when it comes down to money, if the streamers, the full-time streamers, which you would assume that the top quality, the top tier streamers should be full-time, or you would expect to be full-time, if you make it so that it's not sustainable for them to do that, then they're going to have to find an alternative, which is then either leave to a more sustainable platform or go back to work. And in which case, that's gonna trim on their time and their energy levels, and it has a knock-on effect on all sorts of things. And their general, even if it's not, their content doesn't drop in quality, that's gonna have a negative impact on their physical health, on their emotional health, on their mental health. there's ramifications if you try to overextend yourself into everything. This I know.
Very much so. Yeah, as do I. I mean, I've done, parent, 2 jobs, all the fun stuff.
You have many things you do.
Going forward, I hope Mixer is about to play an ace. I do. I hope they're about to play an ace.
I feel like this. It's too. It almost seems like it's not smart to not have an ace. It almost seems dumb to not have an ace.
Well, it's a regression of platform.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you're changing the whole way the platform's been conditioned to behave. Sparks have always been a big part of Mixer, and they still will be to a degree, but Embers just aren't quite valuable enough to the viewer. They don't, the majority of feedback I've had as a partner on this platform are, well, I'll just donate through PayPal because then you get all of it.
I've had lots of DMs saying, would you prefer me to pay direct for your PayPal, or would you like me to go through your tip link and opposed to Embers? I want you to get the bulk.
And me as a content creator and as an individual, I'm always worried about chargebacks.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it's a concern, and it should be a concern to anybody. We all saw what happened to Henley.
Yeah,
just before was it E3
and that's
or PAX? One of the PAX.
She's one of a lot of people that I've heard of that have had mass
chargebacks. Yeah, from and that's not something that we want. So something like bits are great, Embers are great because they have chargeback protection. But people need better value. That's where I stand on Embers at the moment, and
a huge markup is the
Mixer,
problem.
It really is as well, and there's no transparency in it, so people don't know what they're giving you, and they don't really like that.
So they assume that you're getting a rough end of the stick.
Yeah,
which means they're getting a rough end of the stick.
It's very easy to do the calculation that I spend this much money, I get this many Embers.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. But I believe there's a current worry that the partner doesn't get all of those Embers, and that sort of thing. More transparency there, I believe, would be a good idea, but not from us. I don't want to have that conversation.
No, it's awkward
because it's taboo. Yeah, it's a taboo conversation to discuss money on stream. We know this, and you've got it. It's a very subtle balance. So I would rather there was a document or it was in the, the system built in where we have this transparency. I think that would help going forward, along with some growth methods.
Yeah, great. I think overall growth is my number one concern, and there's been a lot of things that seem to have been announced in the last couple of days that are people are talking about this or talking about that or getting angry about Sparks or getting angry about this, and the Sparks not getting the pay, for want of a better word, the money from Sparks, it's gonna hurt. There's no question. When you've spent 6 months, 8 months earning a certain amount of money and suddenly you have no ability to earn that, it's gonna hurt. It's like getting a pay cut.
Of course it is. It's like being made redundant from a job.
Absolutely. But for me, that wasn't even nearly the most important thing that's been announced. And I think this shift towards overall everyone gets monetized. It for me, it seems to devalue the partner program, and I'd like to see Mixer address that in a why is someone going to try to get partnership? Why should someone work to better their stream, to better their content, to get partnership? What's the benefits now? And there are benefits. Mm-hmm. There are things that we get that the non-partners don't get. But it's been chipped away. Two major things now have been removed from that. What are the partnership team getting that is worth working hard to achieve? I'd like to see something there. And that's not, and I don't mean that in a self-serving, I'm a partner, I deserve more than you. I don't mean that. What I mean is I want to be able to work for something.
I'd very much like to see some actionable stuff. At the moment, I'm seeing lots of we're going to do this and we're committing to this and this and this, and these are all great and their values and their ideals. But I would like more actionable stuff.
The key for me is I'm putting in 60 plus hours into my stream because I love it. It's not like it's not self-serving. I enjoy it. I take a lot.
Yeah, it's hardly a
I'm
chore,
not in a
right?
bloody mine. It's not the worst
exactly.
work. But if I'm putting 60 plus hours into something, irrespective of what it is, I need to know as an individual that I'm putting it into the right place. If I was playing exclusively Wonder Boy 1984 Master System game I know that that's not going to build me growth, and I'm probably not doing my streaming career the best service. I need to make sure that I put my content where it's best, and that may be a matter of, and I've seen this with a lot of streamers that are, and a lot of talk of it behind the scenes with friends and people that I know are doing this as careers of maybe not putting all of your eggs into one basket and maybe splitting your time between 2 or 3 platforms. Because you wouldn't think twice about a streamer who streams on Mixer full time and makes YouTube videos. You wouldn't see that as a conflict or negative. So I think
diversification is sensible.
I think maybe even splitting where you're putting your actual live content is probably the way to go.
That's where I'm at, right? That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. So
it's what I'm looking to do as well.
I'm trying to make YouTube content. I am doing my evening streams on Twitch and my daytime streams on Mixer. That's an educated choice because my daytime Mixer streams are more valuable in return to that's when the majority of my audience are there and awake because we're on British time zones. I get the most interactivity, most community building from those streams during the day. The nighttime streams, you're competing against the big American streamers. It's much harder. So doing my evening streams on Twitch with games like Hunt Showdown and stuff that are slightly smaller games, I can build a nice community there. That's where I am at the moment because I'm nervous about what
security is a huge
Mixer's future is. Yeah,
I've always said that if you're doing everything on one platform, if everything is in, all your eggs are in that one basket, it just takes one bad decision for the person who owns that basket, and then you've lost all of your eggs. So that might not even be a decision that you made. Yeah, you're at the mercy of so many external factors that you have zero control over, that you're putting everything you do, and that's not just you. Mind, this is like you put all of this effort in. You stream 50 hours a week, whatever you stream, because you've started doubling up on your streams between that and working and your family. So you're putting all of these extra hours into it. Don't forget that there's tons more people that are putting their effort into watching you every day and spending their valuable time, and you can earn more money, but they can't gain that time back. So you're putting all of their eggs in one basket that might crash as well. So it's really making that decision for the group as well as with the group.
Yeah, there are other factors. There are outside factors. So, full summary. It's not Sparks going away that is in any way my concern. I knew it was coming. I'm okay for it. I did not bank on it. I am concerned about some of the other things that are happening on Mixer, and I would very much like to see more shots at viewer growth on the platform.
Yeah, and again, to be very clear, is that because I'm looking to do basically exactly the same as you are. My morning streams will be on Mixer, my evening streams will be on Twitch. I'll make additional content for YouTube, which is then going to be pre-recorded. But at no point am I thinking I'm going to walk away from Mixer. Sorry, I love my Mixer community. I love that I've been there for years. I love that I've helped grow this thing. I want to stay on Mixer. I just, as a professional, need to make sure. Exactly. I'm secure. My community is secure.
Yeah.
I think that's smart.
I think that sums it up. And I believe that all partners should be thinking much the same way. You know, if you've got to diversify nowadays, and it would be nice to just see something. I don't want to say that gives me hope because it sounds melodramatic and it's not what I intend.
Well, you are known for your melodrama. You're a very emotional guy. Known. You cry a lot. I've noticed. No, you're quite. I'm the emotional one. I remember. Sorry, my mistake.
I was going to say it's the other way around. I'm the one who boy. Right, listeners. This was very serious this week. We felt it had to be.
I feel like we've laughed less, but if we hadn't discussed this in the way that we discussed it, would have been disrespectful to you.
Yeah, this is our future. This is our community's future we're talking about here, and you know we felt that it should be a proper topic. So hopefully you've managed to stick through it and you've taken our points on board and understood that this isn't about walking away from Mixer. In fact, not in any way.
This is about making sure that the community is protected and show how serious our commitment is to you.
Yeah, We're trying to make this stuff last. So I hope, it's clarified where we think and where we are. And we'll see you next week. And we'll have a much more lighthearted one next week, I'm sure.
We'll be back to butt juice and bathwater.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Right. Poke, I'm going to bed.
I'm going to go to bed offended.
Fine.
Toy shop.
Offense is taken, not given. Go to bed.
I have taken it. Good night. Bye, guys.
Good night, guys.